The sea is quiet tonight. Too quiet. When the ocean goes silent like this, most people think it means peace, but warriors know better. Silence is where doubt creeps in. Silence is where weak hearts start whispering excuses. My name is Roronoa Zoro. I am a swordsman of the Straw Hat crew. My dream is simple. I will become the greatest swordsman in the world. There is no backup plan, no second path, no safe harbor if I fail. That kind of dream demands something most people do not have, an unbreakable will. People think willpower is something you are born with. They think some men are simply stronger inside. That is wrong. Will is not a gift. It is a blade, and like any blade, it is forged in fire. If you want a will that cannot break, then you must accept something first. Pain is part of the path. Most people run from pain. They avoid it. They search for easier roads. But every easier road leads somewhere small, somewhere quiet, somewhere forgotten. Dreams are not built on comfort. I learned that lesson early, long before I sailed with Luffy, long before the Grand Line. There was someone who stood ahead of me, someone stronger, faster, sharper. Her name was Kuina. Every day we fought, every day I lost. Again and again and again, hundreds of times. Imagine that, swinging your sword with everything you had. Training until your arms shake, believing you improved, then losing again. Most people would quit. Most people would say the dream is impossible. They would say maybe I was not meant to be the greatest swordsman. But that thought never entered my mind, because losing does not break your will. Accepting defeat does. There is a difference. Defeat is temporary. It is a moment in time. It is proof that someone is stronger than you right now. But accepting defeat means something else. It means you have decided the dream is over. And that is something I refuse to do. When Kuina died, something inside me changed. The rival who stood in front of me was gone. But the dream did not disappear with her. Instead, it grew heavier. That day I made a promise to her and to myself. One of us would become the greatest swordsman in the world. So now I carry that dream for both of us. A dream carried by one person is heavy. A dream carried by two souls is heavier. But that weight is what makes my will stronger. You see, an unbreakable will is not built through victory. Victory feels good, but it teaches very little. Victory tells you that you are strong enough this time. Defeat teaches you what strength truly means. Let me tell you something most people do not understand about strength. Strength is not the moment you swing your sword. Strength is the moment after you fall. The moment when your body hurts, your pride is shattered, and your mind whispers something dangerous. Maybe this dream is too big. Maybe someone else deserves it more. Maybe it would be easier to stop. That whisper is the real enemy, not the opponent standing in front of you. Your own doubt. If you want an unbreakable will, you must learn to silence that voice. Not once, every day. When I train, I do not train because it feels good. I train because the dream demands it. When my muscles scream and my hands bleed from the sword hilt, I keep going. Because somewhere in this world stands the greatest swordsman. And if I stop moving forward, even for a moment, then the distance between us grows. An unbreakable will is built through discipline, not motivation. Motivation fades like wind across the sea. Some days you feel unstoppable. Some days you feel empty. But discipline does not care about feelings. Discipline means you move forward even when your spirit is tired, even when your body is slow, even when the world gives you no reason to believe the dream will come true. Let me give you another example. When I joined Luffy, I saw something in him that most people missed. He is reckless, loud. Sometimes he looks like an idiot, but his will is terrifying. Luffy does not question his dream. He does not measure the odds. He does not calculate the risks. He simply moves forward. That is why people gather around him. That is why people believe in him. Because a person with an unbreakable will changes the world around them. When Luffy says he will become the king of the pirates, he does not say it like a wish. He says it like a fact that has not happened yet. And that certainty spreads. That kind of will is contagious. Another example is the time I faced Mihawk, the greatest swordsman in the world. The man standing at the peak of the mountain I must climb. When I challenged him, I knew the gap between us was enormous. But dreams are not measured by the size of the enemy. They are measured by the size of your resolve. Mihawk defeated me easily. My blades could not reach him. My strength meant nothing. But when he struck me down, I did something important. I refused to fall on my back. A swordsman never shows his back in defeat. I chose to face the blade head on. Why? Because even in defeat, my will would not bend. Mihawk looked at me and understood something in that moment. He saw that I was not just another challenger chasing glory. I was a man whose dream could not be erased. And he spared my life. Not out of mercy, out of respect. That moment taught me something important. An unbreakable will commands respect, even from your enemies. But there is another truth you must understand. Willpower is tested the most when the dream feels far away. When progress is slow, when results do not appear. Many people begin their journey with passion. They train hard for a while. They push themselves for a few months. But when the world does not reward them quickly, their fire fades. They say things like, maybe this is not meant for me. But the path to a dream is long. Longer than most people are willing to walk. If your will depends on quick success, it will break. You must become the kind of person who walks the path even when the destination is hidden by fog. Let me give you a simple image. Imagine a swordsman sharpening his blade. Each stroke of the stone removes only a tiny piece of metal. One stroke changes almost nothing. 10 strokes change very little. But thousands of strokes create a blade capable of cutting through steel. Dreams work the same way. Every day of effort is one stroke against the stone. At first, the change is invisible. But if you keep going long enough, the edge becomes unstoppable. That is why persistence is the heart of an unbreakable will. Not talent. Not luck. Persistence. People often ask what happens if you fail completely. What happens if the dream never comes true? My answer is simple. A warrior who dies chasing his dream is not a failure. A warrior who abandons his dream is because the dream is not just the destination. It is the path that shapes you. The discipline. The sacrifice. The battles you fight along the way. Those things forge the person you become. If you want to build an unbreakable will, there are a few things you must accept. First, your path will be lonely at times. Not everyone will understand your dream. Some will laugh at it. Some will doubt you. That does not matter. Dreams are not voted on by crowds. They are carried by individuals. Second, you must become comfortable with struggle. Struggle is not a sign you are on the wrong path. It is proof you are moving forward. The higher the mountain, the harsher the climb. Third, you must protect your dream from your own weakness. There will be moments when quitting feels reasonable, when stopping feels logical. But dreams are not logical. Dreams belong to the stubborn, to the people who keep standing up long after others sit down. Let me tell you one more story. There was a moment when I was willing to give up everything. My pride, my ambition, even my life. It happened when our crew faced a threat too great to overcome. Luffy had already sacrificed so much for us. So I stepped forward and offered my life instead of his. I was prepared to die in silence. Why? Because my captain's dream mattered, and protecting that dream was part of my own path. An unbreakable will is not only about chasing your dream, it is also about loyalty to the people who stand beside you. Dreams grow stronger when they are shared. But remember this, even with allies, the battle inside your heart is yours alone. No one can fight that for you. Every day you must choose to move forward, to endure, to keep sharpening your blade. And one day, after years of struggle and sweat and silent determination, you will look back. The path behind you will be long, longer than you ever imagined. But you will realize something. The person standing there now is not the same person who started the journey. Your will has changed you, forged you, hardened you. That is the power of refusing to give up. So if you have a dream, listen carefully. Do not chase it halfway. Do not protect yourself from failure. Commit to it fully. Train for it. Suffer for it. Stand back up every time the world knocks you down. Because the moment you decide that quitting is not an option, something inside you becomes unbreakable. And once your will reaches that point, there is no force in this world strong enough to stop you. Keep moving forward, sharpen your blade, and never abandon the dream.